Good evening, everybody. This is Paula Ritchie at OtherRealm Studio, and today we are once again working on the Magnolia Fawn book. Which is going to be a children's book about Magnolia Fawn rescue. Currently funding on Kickstarter for the print run. So if you would like to see this lovely book in print, then stop by the Kickstarter and pledged $12 for a copy plus shipping. Keep in mind that Kickstarter is an all or nothing funding model, and that if we don't make the entire goal, then nobody's card will be charged. And I won't retain any of that information. Kickstarter handles the entire payment and process. But yeah, nothing will come out in the first place, and there won't even be refunds, because nothing will have been spent if we don't make the entire goal in pledges. So today I'm going to tidy up a little bit on the various pages. I've been working on, in some form or fashion, this book for a couple of years now. But I've been devoting the month of June to getting the illustrations done. And so every night at 8 o'clock I've been working on this for an hour or two most nights, sometimes a little more. So let's see. I can't really tell on my tablet how the screen resolution is coming through, but I did change a few settings before I got started tonight. So I'm hoping that the image is a bit clearer. Especially since I'm not doing so much big obvious work, I guess. Like especially right here, I'm just touching up a few little things. Okay. Earlier today I ran off some print copies of the pages, and um, there were some mixed results. This page in particular, um, the fog that I had sketched in really washed out the deer a lot in print in a way that's not really obvious looking at it on a screen. So that's one good reason to be printing off copies of the pages. Just to make sure that everything will turn out in print. Now, I do have it set. One of these things on the far left side of the print menu, I believe, has, oh yeah, here in print settings. And I think that there is actually another page before this where you can further configure what kind of print options you'll be going through. Alright, I am just about done with tightening up the leaves a bit. And I want to add a little bit of shade in the grass here. Okay, so I'm going to try printing this either tonight or tomorrow and see how this looks on paper. One of the issues with trying to translate digital art to printed art is not going to be backlit. Okay, these little guys are done. I just copied and printed them and they worked out fine. This one, however, is not done, so I need to add another layer and set it to overlay. Find the pale tone. No, it's on light tone. There we go. And now I can brush in the highlights. So, I did notice when I printed this page, the, let's see, what's the term? Come on, brain. I noticed that the deer were blending into the green grass a little bit too much. And I realized that though the brown deer and the green grass are very different in hue, the, what's the term? Contrast? There's another term that I'm looking for, and I'm not finding. But yeah, there's not a lot of contrast between the color of the deer and the color of the grass. They are blending in too much. So what I need to do is take the green and either lighten it or darken it significantly. And I think I'm going to go with lightening it. And I have no idea how this is going to go. That's too much. In case you couldn't tell, that was way too much. Alright. Alright, that's too blue. That's too yellow. The grass looks dead now. Alright, here I think I have it to where the deer pop against the background a bit more. And now I need to go back and blend things because that was a little bit extreme towards the back. and I noticed that my page did not go all the way when I split it off. I'm going to use the liquify tool and scoot things slightly. I'm not sure how natural that looks. Alright, let's commit a little bit of surgery here. Copy, paste, that's now on a new one. Edit, transform, flip horizontal. Grab it and scoot it over here. And now that I've got two pieces pasted in, I'm going to erase out wherever it's a little bit obvious that, oops, that was a little much. Wherever it might be just a little bit obvious where there's a line. That looks good. Merge with layer below. Okay, so here the tree doesn't reach the edge of the page, and here it does. So that looks reasonable. So I'm going to merge it with the layer below that. Now the trees are on their own layer. And I have noticed where I have left two of my deer without shadows. So let's switch to the multiply layer. Go back to light grayish. Get the brown, I think. And we will anchor a couple of deer with some shadows. And I will have to come back and see if this has helped things. I mean, I think so. I think the contrast is up. The grass still looks like grass, and the deer still look like deer. And they look better. Now that they are all individual deer rather than copy pasted quick deer. So if the print test on this one turns out, then whoops. So yeah, I'll have to see what the print looks like on this one, and then we can probably call it done. Here, I still need to do that forest. Let's add a new layer and paint another deer. Go a little lighter with this one. Okay, let's hide all the other ones. So I can see what I'm doing. I love how intense they are when they're taking their bottles. Probably a little less fun to actually have to hang on to the bottles though. Which is why there's a nice sturdy bottle rack. Okay. So, yeah, this foreleg right here will probably not be visible, but we will know that it's there. And so I'm sketching it out like this because this is what it seems like to me. And they're kicking and jumping and clambering around. And there's like there are long little legs everywhere. And they climb on top of each other and try to steal each other's bottles. So there was something I was thinking about in regards to the book and how I could improve it. Which, oh no, every time I'm even slightly dissatisfied with a project, I find myself going over in my head, how can I improve it? How can I make like 1,000 times more work for myself, essentially? Now this new thing is not 1,000 times exactly. I'm sure it'll be fine. But it will involve learning a new skill set and doing some audio mixing. So, for some background, I used to have a book that I loved when I was growing up. Uh, Essentially, even though I was very good at reading books to myself, I still enjoyed having books read to me. And so there was this one book that came with a cassette, and the narrator would tell the story, and when she reached the end of the page, there would be a little chime, and she'd go, "Turn the page." And I just have, fond memories of that book, even after all this time. I can I can still recall the plot, but that's kind of the same for every book, whether there was a little audio cassette for it or not. Um, but I was thinking, wow, that would be really neat, but I can't, you know, include a cassette with every book. Wait a second. What year is it? So I was thinking, it's a dangerous pastime, I know. So I was thinking that if I create an audio file for the book and do the mixing, I have software to do this. Maybe not like an actual recording studio setup, but it might work out okay. Um, if I get the audio recorded and get that on a file, and if I host it on my website, and I guess also on YouTube, somebody on somebody on Twitter pointed that out too, that would work. Then, hang on, let me find a good size to do blending here. Then, what I can do is have a QR code printed in the front of the book, in the front matter, where on a separate page by itself, or where the copyright info goes and stuff. And so if you use your phone, you can just open up the camera and it'll read a QR code and take you straight to the website. And I guess I could explain that to people on the page so that people who aren't familiar with using QR codes could navigate it. But the QR code can take somebody directly to the site where I have the audio file for the read along. And so I was thinking, surely in the past 40 years, children have not changed so far that they wouldn't enjoy listening to a read along. And it would just be, hang on, we gotta save again. Okay. And so I wouldn't be charging extra for the audio edition of the book that way. It would just be a freebie. If you wanted to buy the book, you could open up your phone, scan the QR code, and get the audio. So I really want to look at creating this book as creating something that in a sane world would win awards. I don't actually have any hope of winning anything. I don't know what I would even enter it in. But I do like the idea of, not, well, maybe it is, just competing against the best work I've ever done. This is my new best. And part of that is going to be letting go of what's practical and doing what's awesome. And so it's not very practical to do a read along book with just a free downloadable audio file and just release it on YouTube as well, just so that people can have it. And they'll be able to know what the content of the book is without even buying it, honestly. But I do think that the best way to enjoy a children's book is to have it in print. And to be able to hold it in your hands and turn the pages. So if we're going on sheer um, practicality, I suppose, then no, it's not very practical to just release an audio edition publicly. But the more I think about it, the more I think that it's the best way for readers to be able to access the book. But, you know, I don't know for sure if I'll do that. It is something that I'm looking into, though. Hang on, let me wring out my wrist. Okay, let's put his little friends back in the picture. And I kind of wonder if I can do the same trick as I did on the grass a little bit ago and adjust his hue so he doesn't look like a copy paste, which he is, but just don't tell anybody and we'll be fine. I guess I can do a select all since he's the only thing on this layer. So let's go edit, tonal correction, hue. Alright, let's scoot this so that it's not right over him. No, no, he doesn't need to be purple or green or red. Alright, so here he's slightly yellower. And a bit more muted. Anything else? Let's see, let's change his tail a little. So we'll just select the tail and scoot it. No, wait. I have a little too much selected here. Okay. So it might seem like more trouble to select it and adjust rather than just paint a new deer. But uh, my hand's starting to cramp up just a tad, so I just needed a little bit of a break from constant painting. I'll just touch up this one so he matches with the other ones pretty well. Let's see where we are now. So I need to draw one more and finish up the bottle rack so that the bottles look neat and that this looks like wood. My hand is not going to want to do any more detail work for a little bit. So I guess I'm going to have to hold off. These other pages, I have ideas for different sketches than what I have currently on them. Let's hit save. Let's see, this one needs neatening up. This one's already been neatened up, so I guess we're going to call it done. Okay, here are all the illustrated pages. There will be more than this. I'm going to add a couple more pages while I'm arranging where all the words should go. And so this one here that I have as page 18 currently, this needs to be set up here. And this needs to be moved over. Alright, don't worry. This is just the processing thing that happens. Alright, so since I have rearranged where these pages go, also this one needs to go in front of there. Yeah, this just happens. Okay, so this is closer to the order that everything's going to be in. I need to move this section up. Both of these pages need to move up here. Might need to cut and paste in order to do that rather than just drag them. Yeah, this is one of the nice things about Clip Studio Paint. It's not difficult to do things. It's a little bit difficult to remember what all these settings are and all these options and all these brushes, and I don't even have all the brushes that I have installed on this setup. I almost dread adding brushes to it. I'm never going to remember where I put them all. almost dread. I am kind of looking forward to some of my brushes for other projects. So I just want to, before I sign off for the night, I want to remind you that the Kickstarter for the Magnolia Fallen children's book is on Kickstarter here. This is what the page looks like. You can share the project at Facebook, at what used to be Twitter. You can hit the remind me button. You can copy the link and close and share it to your social media like I'm doing right now, and I'm going to, well, I should be able to grab it and send it to the chat. Well, it worked for YouTube anyway. And if you would like to make a pledge, you can make a pledge without a reward, or you can choose rewards down here. There's the ebook edition, there's the signed paperback, there's the signed paperback without shipping. We'll just ship it to Connie's and you can pick it up from hers, or, well, actually we would be shipping it here and I would run it over there. And we also have the book and art print, and here's the print. It's printed at 8.5 by 11, but there's also a very fine line at the 8 by 10 mark, so if you don't have an 8.5 by 11 frame that you want for this, you can put it in an 8 by 10. And I've even set it up to where you can order the bookshop special for $100. It's 10 copies, so a discount overall. But we've only got 6 days to go, and if we don't make the entire goal by then that's it for this campaign. We'll just start again. We'll figure out something else to do. So, thank you all for keeping me company. And I will be back for the final week of the campaign. I know I said I'd be doing the art stream throughout June, and June is almost over. We're moving into July. But we still have a few days left on the campaign, so I will be here on Facebook and YouTube, finishing up, adding a few more pages. So come back and see me then. See you later.